Hey everybody, it's Rajesh here.
Intane here.
Welcome to our podcast, Baskets of Knowledge, Chats with a Difference. In our podcast, we invite guests from around the country and around the world to talk about how they got to where they're at the moment. It's about a journey, it's about an experience, it's about their life. Kia ora koutou, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Baskets of Knowledge. Tonight it is just me. Tane is awaiting some amazing mahi with his work. And as always, I like to share something that I put into my basket of knowledge since we last spoke. And the biggest thing that I want to put into my basket of knowledge is the fear of public speaking. And let me talk about that in the context of the fear. Um, when I was doing some thinking, we're not afraid to talk. We all love to talk. We can all talk one-on-one. When it comes to a crowd, the fear is not actually about the fear of talking, but it's the fear of being judged. And when I thought about that really, really carefully about myself and the people that I coach and I work with, it's the judgment that makes us afraid because we all can talk. So my question for you all is, as you think about this, is the fear of public speaking, where does it come from and what is it stopping you from doing? So that was my little piece of knowledge that I put into my basket and a little bit of thought process. And it's a great segue into our guest this week. This is a person that I am in awe of. It is someone I've met a few times in passing. It is someone that I've heard about through my connection and my contacts. And I've been trying to get into the podcast for a while. And because they're a busy person, it's hard to get them on. But hey, everything happens for a reason. And this is the right time for us to have this podcast with our guest today. It is my honor and my privilege to welcome to Boss of Knowledge, Fatima. Welcome to the podcast, Fatima.
Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for having me today. And I'm really excited for this podcast. And I'm sure we'll share lots of things.
Yeah, I know you will. I know you will. So, Fatima, for people who know nothing about you, who is Fatima today on the 17th of August, 2026?
Fatima is one of the unstoppable girls who have tried a lot, who had lots of fears about starting again. And even last year at this time, I didn't imagine that I'll be somewhere like that I am today. And lots of challenges, lots of people who judged me, lots of things, lots of thoughts, but still, like, today I'm someone that try hard and even can't stop trying for my life, for my goals, for my aims. Yeah, this is something that I can see in myself today.
Beautiful. I love it. And I'm going to start with the first thing you said. It's also on your LinkedIn, Unstoppable. Tell me about where that's come from and what the story around that is.
Actually, just a few days before, I have changed the word to unstoppable because I remember my journey when I came to New Zealand 4 years ago. And then the journey was like, because this year in this October, it will be 5 years soon. So I was thinking on those days that I faced challenges and there were many people around me, even my friends, my close families, but they were like, they always hide the reasons and they always didn't want to give me lots of ideas about how to start, how to gain knowledge, how to go to university, like all of these things. Maybe they found it a little bit confused to describe for me, but at the same time, I was like, where should I start? And then I have got ideas from some of other useful people around me, like other people who understand my problems, my challenges, and then they guide me through the process. Then I feel like I should start again in this country, everything. Like I lost anything I had in Afghanistan. And then the word came to my mind, unstoppable. Like I must be unstoppable because nowadays women face many problems. So we must be unstoppable. And we must be a good example for those people in our country, for other people in our families, maybe for our siblings. So yeah.
What a great little tiny iceberg into your story for Unsolvable. And you mentioned just before that, you came from Afghanistan. And I'd love for you to think about 5 years ago when you first landed in New Zealand. What is that like for you when you leave your homeland? And obviously all that we know from your homeland is what we see on the media. And you land in New Zealand. What was that like for you?
Honestly, it was like a nightmare. I was thinking maybe it's just a bad dream. when I came, then after a few days, I was like, oh no, I'm in New Zealand, in a different country. I left everything in there, lots of my dreams, lots of my goals, lots of things that I tried hard. And then I didn't even had that hope or the thing in my heart to start again, the power, you know? And then I was like, maybe I don't have this power to start again because I had those dreams in Afghanistan to go to university, to finish high school. Even my friends, my classmates, my families are there. Like how I can start again. And then I saw my parents. They always have lots of dreams about us. And then I'm the older daughter. I'm the eldest one. And I was like, I have to do that. Why not? Then the most challenging thing was English, because I have studied English in my country, but not the high level of English that I speak well, I understand well. And then I could read and write, but in terms of speaking, my confidence was really less. And then I was like, maybe I can't do that well. I had this fear that I can't talk well. So yeah, 5 years ago, this was one of my challenges, and I started my journey in New Zealand like that.
And here's a question for you. So you said in October will be 5 years. And if I said to you today or in October, hey Fatima, this is what you've achieved in 5 years, what would you have said to yourself if I told you this was going to happen when you first came to New Zealand?
Honestly, it was really hard to believe. You know, like I was seeing myself as someone who's not, who can't start again, who can't go and talk to people, who can't be confident, who can't reach her dreams. But now, as I see, like I'm someone who can do anything, like any of the goals, any of the aims, anything that I have, I can reach it. And I did that a lot. Like it's been 5 years that I'm trying my best to be the best version of myself, you know, like just being better, even 1%, without comparing myself with anyone else.
Yeah, and that's it's hard to do, but we have to do it. And some days we don't. Some days
Yeah.
we compare. We're humans, right? We compare. And every day is hunky dory and
Comparison is
smiley.
also good in a
Yeah,
positive ways. Like we can
yeah.
learn a lot. Yeah, that's one of the positive things that we can do.
Totally, totally. I love that. And you spoke about challenges, and I'm gonna ask about challenges in two ways. So I'd love for you to maybe, for our listeners to understand the challenges that you would have faced in Afghanistan, the reality, if there were any challenges, there's assumptions, and then challenges you faced in New Zealand. So let's start
Hmm.
with Afghanistan. What is that like for you as being in a country that obviously we don't know too much about, and also being a female in Afghanistan?
Well, that's a really good question. So, challenges in Afghanistan, it can be such as like safety, which is the main problem, and everyone face this problem at the moment, and even in the past, because we used to be in Afghanistan, and the first thing it was like safety, and every day we used to hear lots of bad words, like lots of bad news about the situation of Afghanistan, even capital of Afghanistan, Kabul city. So yeah, and then my parents were afraid, like what's going on. Even we had a security in the car to go to school. It was 5 minutes walk, but we weren't able to go by bus or by walk. So we were that much afraid, me and my siblings. And yeah, like there are lots of other problems in terms of finding jobs for ladies. It's really hard, and they can't find a job after graduation. And even like the only part that we can do is just finishing high school and going to the new university, and it requires lots of work, like days and nights, and getting lots of extra courses to go through that. And I have done that one, but still, like lots of safety problems, lots of career challenges, lots of other things going on in Afghanistan. But now the situation in Afghanistan is even the worst, because there's no opportunity for ladies, for girls to study. There's no opportunities for them to work. There's no opportunities for them to be outside of the house and just go for shopping or anything like that, which is really like it's hurting me a lot. And nowadays I'm in here to just talk with anyone that about my country, about girls in there, about my classmates, my friends, so at least I can be their voice in New Zealand. And yeah, challenges in New Zealand, it's kind of like the first challenge was language barriers. Everyone faced the challenge, all of the migrants and refugees. And then the other one was like just starting again, the fear of maybe you can't do that. That was the
Mm.
biggest challenge. And then in terms of the safety compared to Afghanistan, in terms of the finding jobs, finding lots of opportunities, New Zealand is even the best. And this is the best place to study, to work, to get experience, to meet nice people. Yeah, I feel like there are lots of difference between Afghanistan and New Zealand. At the same time, my home is Afghanistan, and the other side, my home is New Zealand as well.
Yeah, and it's as a migrant and as a someone that's come from another country, it's always hard to try and explain to people that your heart belongs to wherever
Yeah,
your home is. And then, but that doesn't mean you don't enjoy where you are. Some people are like, "Oh, why don't you go back to your own country?" But it's not that you can't say it like that there because both have become part of you, both become your DNA. And I love what you just said there, that the challenges in Afghanistan have allowed you to have a voice for the people in Afghanistan,
yeah.
but also the opportunities. And Fatima, what I at the start I said I admire you because you have taken up all the opportunities. So I'd love to know some of the opportunities that you have taken up. I know you've done the farmer stuff, you're studying, you've done the Labour Party stuff, and you've done some really cool things. Let's talk about some of those things that you're really proud of.
Well, since the day we arrived in New Zealand, then after 1 month or 2 months after that, and then they told us there are some English courses that we can go and study, and also there were some other courses to prepare for to get license, driving license. And then I have started that, and my parents obviously like they always supporting me, especially my father. He's the best, and he always like you go for it. I support you all the time. I am with you. So yeah, I went and I started those courses, and I have learned a lot. Always I take notes because it always helped me to memorize. It always helped me to learn more. And yeah, I did that. And also I have got my driving license very soon. And then after that, I have got another driving license, like restricted, even full license, because I love to drive. And this is something like I was like, I should do that. And then yeah, I have started lots of courses until I get chance to go to college. I went to college. I went there for a few months because the academic year was nearly ended. Like it was nearly at the end of the academic year, and it was really hard to get into classes. I chose some other classes like accounting, business. I had two English classes, and I had tourism as well. And yeah, I enjoyed my classes. The teachers, everyone were really friendly with me, and I had a really good teacher who always says like he was really supportive. He always said like, keep going, you can do that, you can do that. And then that motivation, that inspiration helped me a lot. So yeah, well, I went to college, and after that I went to Unitec for a year, and I have studied my language studies in there because it wasn't enough to go to university. I have studied IELTS until 6.5. Like I have studied academic English level 4 and 5 altogether. And then after that, I had to do some preparation course for uni. And then I have studied some IT courses and business courses, accounting courses to get into uni. Finally, my biggest dream was going to uni, and I reached to that. Like, I think it was in 2023 that I have started uni, and it was my biggest pleasure to come to Auckland University of Technology and start my studying in here. And this is one of my favorite and biggest achievements.
And look at the smile on your face. Yeah, it's really I love how you shared, it started from the most basic things that we take for granted, getting a driver's license.
Yeah.
That was the goal. As you said before, in Afghanistan, now women can't drive. So, you're like, actually, hey, I've got the opportunity. Let me do that now. And the biggest smile that you have when you come to university, that is so cool. But also, what I would like to also acknowledge you is also you did that there, but you also started getting involved in the community. It's easy to come and then just get locked up. And before we started, you said to me that one of your big passions is community. Tell me why is that such a big driver for you, especially for someone that's an immigrant that's had their own challenges that you want to get involved in the community?
Well, since the day that I have studied English and my English got better, and then there were lots of people in my community who faced language barriers. At the same time, they needed someone to be interpreter and translate everything from the teacher to them. And when I got to driving license course, so it was like a 6 week or 9 weeks course. that I have done. And then there were some people facing the language barriers. So the teachers told me, even my English wasn't that much good. So the teacher told me, you can do that. You can translate everything to your classmates because they were all Afghans. Like he said, he told me you can translate everything in English in Farsi to other classmates so they can study, they can learn more. And then I was like, okay. So I started my job from there. Like I feel like I'm really passionate about it to help my community in terms of very little things, like maybe even translating, maybe explanation, maybe in terms of the forms, anything like applying for jobs, for in terms of creating CVs, any single thing that I have done, and I face those problems. So I was like, yeah, I can help my community in terms of that. Then I have started a job. It was my first job in Oma Trust organization, and they were a really nice lady. They were a really nice lady. Um, she's Afghan, and she helped me in terms of the CVs, cover letter, and then she was like, "You can help us in terms of the events." And then I got interested into that. I was like, "Yeah, why not?" So I can start my job from there. And then one of my close friends, she had her own business. So when she started the business, she needed some help with business and all of the ideas. Then that was another job that I was doing. So I started helping her in terms of everything, like setting up the shop, the business, in terms of anything else that I could do that social media. And still I'm working with her that I'm really happy. So yeah, it's been 3 years from the business and still I'm working with her, and that's my biggest pleasure as well. So then my jobs started from that, but I didn't care about money first because I was like, I can get experience, I can meet new people. So why I care about money? Because it wasn't about payment. Like none of them paid for me. But then I have got lots of experience, lots of connections in my community, and yeah. And then finally, I have reached to any other jobs, and at the moment, I'm doing 4 jobs.
Oh, 4 jobs. How do you find time to look after yourself, Fatima?
Sorry, Thailand.
How do you find time to look after you have 4 jobs, you have university.
Yeah, well, I have studied project management last year, and it was really helpful for me. So how I can manage my life first, in terms of my
Hmm.
studies, my what I'm doing in terms of my personal life, like going to the gym, spending time with my family, friends, and also other 4 jobs that I'm doing. It's part time still, like it requires time a lot. So yeah, I have really good calendar that I can add all of the events. I have all of the meetings and all of the jobs, like how many hours I'm working for each job, which is really nice, and it always reminds me. Now it's kind of easy for me to manage everything.
Yeah, and what happens when you get tired, Fatima? Because we're all humans, right? What do you do to get your energy back?
Um, Maybe meeting those people who have positive energy. It
Yeah.
affects me a lot, even during the day. Sometimes I'm sleepy because my sleep is not even enough. And then I'm like, oh my God, what should I do? And then when I see my friends, they have positive energy. When I see my lecturers, like they always say, oh, Fatima, can you introduce something to classmates? Can you talk? And I was like, wow, yeah, of course. Like I get the energy from that moment. Even sometimes a cup of coffee, it can help. Like just having my coffee, my morning coffee or anything. Yeah.
Yeah, Fatima said morning coffee. It's now 6:20 at night, and she's having coffee. So there we go.
I
Energy
know,
level
I
again.
know. I am addicted to that.
Addicted, addicted. That's okay. We love an addiction of some sort. It's obviously a healthy addiction. Fatima, what I would love to ask you is, you spoke about the energy that you get from helping people and the course. Tell me about what you're studying at university. And at the start of today's conversation, you said you really love it. And
Mhm,
and I'm going to ask you in the context of because you're studying a industry that is mainly male, lots of males study it. And what is it
mhm,
like for you that is a female, but not just a female, but also an ethnic female that is studying it?
mhm. Actually, so firstly, I'm studying Bachelor of Business, double major, accounting and information systems at UT, and this is my final year. So yeah, I really enjoy my studies. I have lots of favorite subjects that I always learn. I'm always happy to go to classes, learn more, and I have really nice lecturers. All of them are really experienced and kind, so we can learn more from them. And actually, in terms of the industry, like when I came here, because in Afghanistan we had the schools like only girls schools,
Mhm.
and we had the workplace anything like only for girls. But in here it's a lot different because we have to have conversation, we have to work as a group. But other people, like it could be girls, it could be guys. But in terms of the guys, one thing I found it really good, which is like they always respect me, maybe because of my religion, maybe because I have hijab, I have a scarf. They always respect me, even in the workplace. They always respect me, and I love that because they respect my culture, they respect me. And then this is something that I really like that. And then it gives me energy a lot because I feel like people respecting me, so I should respect them back again in a good way. Yeah.
Oh, I really enjoy that. I like that thing. And one thing that I want to ask you about is, I when I went to university in South Africa, you only the females live together and the males
Mm.
live separately. There was no, you couldn't mix. What is it like for you coming to a place now? Obviously, you said in Afghanistan you were gender mixed, and now you come here like everyone is together. What is that for you like culturally?
Honestly, culturally, it was really hard when I went to high school. First, it was really hard to know like, and then we used to work as a team or something like that. There's someone next to me, and then it was really hard because even my parents, like, they
Hmm.
don't agree with that, you know, like
Yeah.
they have the same kind of mindset like same of Afghanistan. And then it was really hard for me. Finally, I believe that okay, it's still fine, like it's an academic space that we have to talk like that, we can learn from each other. If the aim is in terms of the learning a subject, in terms of working on assignment, nothing something negative, nothing like disrespectful, then I agree with that. But still, like there are some other things that maybe in the class when I'm alone, like no one is allowed to sit beside me, not other any other guys, like just I never sat next to someone else. There could be girls, but not guys. But yeah, yeah. So this is the thing.
Yeah, and it's hard because I say that because we don't understand that, right? So unless
Mhm.
you come from that world there, and what is it like for your parents? I say this because obviously your parents, they all they knew was the life in Afghanistan, and then they come in, they have to start again. Like you said,
Yeah.
starting again. And for you, yes. Well, how is it for you? I mean, I don't know whether you have this conversation with your parents. What is it like for them as they have to start again in a whole different way as well?
Mm. It was really hard for my parents because they had to start everything again, even the language, like the life, going and find another house, every single thing. Because we came from Afghanistan with only one travel bag, 5 members, only one travel bag, which was really hard. But then even now, I feel like it's really hard for my parents to know about the environment, to use to it, and then yeah, I understand that, and still they're supporting us, which is the main thing. And I know, like, especially for my father, he had a job in Afghanistan, but now it's really hard to even do some other things in New Zealand, which is, I know they face many challenges, but at the same time, they help us a lot. And even my mom, since we came to here, she's missing everyone in Afghanistan, all of our families, which is really hard for her. Still, I understand that as well.
Yeah, and I think that's an important thing that you say that because because they are here, they still have lots of attachments and family back in Afghanistan. Um, and what is it like? You mentioned challenges. What are some of the the biggest challenges that people don't see? We talk about challenges for you. What are some of the challenges that no one sees because you have to battle it yourself? The English, and then but I want to focus on challenge because the one thing that you said really hit me was that you want to be a voice for people that don't have a voice, especially from Afghanistan. So do you want to explain some of those challenges that I guess girls in Afghanistan face, which nobody knows about?
Yeah. Um, well, first, I just want to talk about in terms of the student perspective.
Yeah.
The most challenges we face as nowadays as a student who is finishing university, finding a job, finding a full-time job. Even when I was in high school, finding a part-time job was the biggest challenge for me because I have applied for lots of jobs And then my parents, my friends around me, they always say like, you should be tired of applying for jobs that much. Because when I look at my emails every single day, then I see the rejections. But at the same time, it's really good to try again and again. Like, why not? Maybe they haven't seen my application. Maybe they haven't received it well. Maybe they haven't reviewed my CV, because I know I can do that, and I can do my best. But in terms of them, like maybe they face some problems and they haven't checked it. So yeah, the biggest challenge in New Zealand is that one, finding part-time or full-time job. Nowadays, lots of my friends are looking for part-time jobs, and at the same time, I helping them to how to apply, how to build their CVs. And I'm looking for full-time jobs, but at the same time, it's really hard. The competition is really high. Many people applying, which is the biggest challenge.
Yeah, thank you for that. And what about now I'd love to shift the focus now, and I
Mhm.
want to talk about the cool things that you have done. I saw recently you posted that you were like you were guest lecturing your students. Tell us about that and how that was for you.
Actually, the paper was one of my favorite papers, and well, I have studied a lot, and then it was something that I really enjoyed. One of my information systems papers, and my lecturer, she was really kind, and she always encouraged me to study in front of classmates. She always asked me questions, and she always like give to me that chance to talk. And then I really love that because I challenged myself as well. So I was just going to answer some questions in front of the class. And finally, there was a program that I had to apply. So it was like an IIBA program, which is International Institute of Business Analysis. So it was one of the one parts of that class that I had to apply for that program. Then I sent them my CV, my cover letter, and I made the cover letter really emotional. Like I feel like the cover letter was the best, and then of course my CV as well. And then I have applied for that opportunity, and I was the first one. I'm always the first one who's applying for jobs or anything. So I was the first one. Finally, I asked my lecturer like regularly what's going on, how I can get into that, any update, and then finally I got into that. So it was IIBA mentorship and kind of like everything in terms of the experience, in terms of the exams, lots of studies that we have done. So it was kind of that program. At the same time, the lecturer was really kind and nice. So she was like, "You can be my guest speaker for next classes for next year, so they can motivate, they can hear more about you, about your experiences, and they can apply for the same thing that you have applied, you know." And then nowadays, when I'm going to that, well, oh, so yeah, they're really excited to know about my journey, about everything that I have done for that course. And my lecturer is really kind and nice. So she invited me to the class to talk in front of 90 people. I was afraid. I was like, how I can talk? Because they're allowed to talk. But then I was like, okay, it's okay. Like, why not? I can go and talk and make friends as well. Yeah.
Isn't it funny? At the start, I spoke about the fear of public speaking, and this is exactly what you're saying. Like you weren't afraid to talk because you knew the knowledge. It's the fear of what people are going to think about you.
Yeah.
Yeah. And how did that
Honestly,
go?
it's
Yeah.
true. I strongly agree with that because recently I went in front of the class, one of other classes, and I talked, but it wasn't that much good. It wasn't that thing that I expected from myself. And then I came back and I searched in ChatGPT. I was like, oh my god, I talked in front of class and I mentioned these things. Is that fine? And then ChatGPT said like, of course it's fine because you think about what other people gonna judge you, like how they're gonna judge you, but still you went and you talked. You were the first one who you went and you talked about your ideas. Like no one can do that. At the same time, when we are in front of the class or in front of the lots of kids, like 100 people, then we can think about it like at least I had the confidence to go and talk. Like there are many people just sitting and looking, and maybe they're thinking, I wish I could be there and in front of everyone to talk. But look at her, like she's going and talking, and she have that confidence, the power to talk. And yeah, I really love that. And ChatGPT told me that since that day, I remember, of course, I can go and talk. Doesn't matter who judge me, who is saying something, at least I can hear positive things from my lecturer, my classmates, my close friends. That's it.
I'm glad ChatGPT agrees with me.
Yeah, actually, she's my best friend.
Oh, ChatGPT is your best friend. Oh, don't tell your
Yeah.
best friend that there. Oh, how funny. And I really enjoy hearing your story. And as you think about yourself and what you like to do and the things that you're doing in your world, the other thing that I am interested in is your relationship with Kawat. Tell us about that there and tell us about Kawat. We've had Iman here before, but I love your perspective on that and how that's grown and just changed your world as well.
Actually, I should have mentioned about Khawat first, because this
Shh, we
is
won't
one
we
of
won't
my.
tell Iman. Don't worry, we won't tell Iman. Shh.
Okay, okay, no one knows, no one knows. Um, Khawat is something really meaningful for me, and it has really important. It's really important part of my life, because I found Khawat 3 years ago when I wanted to apply for university, and I had no one to go and talk about and get support. Then I found Iman, and Iman helped me a lot. From the first meeting that we met each other, he added me into group chat, into Khawat group chat. And I was like, well, that's really great because I don't have any friends. I don't have anyone to support me. I have my family, but not any other community to support me. And then she was really sweet. She helped me a lot. And then finally I went into community. I saw the people around me, like we can learn from each other's experiences at the same time. There are lots of refugee women who have different experiences, who have different thoughts. They face different challenges, and we all together and coming together having a community, which is the best thing. And we all supporting each other like sisters, like khawat in Arabic, which is like in English means sisters. It's really it's like, as I see the activities, the support between each other, all of the workshops that we had, like everything that we're doing, I feel like that's from our deepest side of our hearts. And at the same time, going to the community, talking with each other, I really love that. I enjoyed that. And first, I was a member. Then, after a few times, when Iman, we became friends and we became close friends, then Iman was like, "Why not? We can work together." And I was like, "I'm really happy to put all of the things that I have studied at university into Khawat, like any of professional um, things, like project management, like business analysis, anything that I really enjoy, even in terms of the accounting. I can put all of my knowledge into Khawat, and then I can develop more, I can improve in terms of that, and also I can help my community. So this is something that I really enjoy. And now I'm working with Khawat as a project leader, which is my main responsibility is to get partnership with industries, to talk with other industries and make the opportunity for other Khawat girls to do networking with them. At the same time, looking forward for some other opportunities, internships for our Khawat girls, which is the main thing. I really enjoy that. And also at the moment, we want to establish the Khawat club at EUT, the Khawat Youth Club at EUT, which is really good. And I recently applied for it. So we're looking forward to start our activities.
Amazing, amazing. Every time you speak, Fatima, your passion is so powerful. It comes across so real, and I love that they and I love that though, because if we think about your origin story, it comes from a place where things were challenging, but look at the way you've taken opportunities, which is really really beautiful. If we think about, you said you work with a lot of refugee communities, you work in that space there. There's difficult to see. What are some of the biggest barriers to access that you see that maybe people that are listening to the podcast can hear about?
Well, something that I really want to share is we should keep continuing. Like we should say yes to opportunities. Anything that we hear around us that make positive change in our life, why not? We can say yes. We can get experience. Any comparison, anything, like we can go and talk and get experience. Be confident more about our goals, our aims. At the same time, why not support each other? Like those experiences that I have got in terms of that, I really love to support my friends who are just recently came to New Zealand, and those people who have the same goals, the same aims, want to improve more. Why not? We can improve together. In terms of that. But at the same time, I had some other friends who were like, they didn't even have any goals or any other things to explain to me. And then I was like, it's okay. You can be friends with some other people who are same as you, but I would love to have those people around me to have positive mind, to have their goals and careers. Everything is clear, so I can learn from them. We can develop together. Not like if she has negative, she changed me to be negative as well.
Yeah. And it's like the analogy. I don't know if you've heard of the fruit analogy.
Mm.
If there is a one bad fruit in a bowl, everything goes bad. So we have to be careful about who we have around us, because they can affect who we are as people.
Um, So yeah, actually there are lots of things to share in terms of my experiences working in a community at the same time about Khawat, about my studies. But sometimes the language, like I have lots of words in my language, but at the same time it's really hard to explain the feeling, the everything in English, which is like I can't even find those words. It makes it harder, but yeah, it's still fine.
I have a question that I ask most migrants, anyone that I know, even myself.
Yeah.
What when you when you hear a word, do you have to translate it into Arabic in your fast in your brain and then convert it to English and then it comes out? How does it work for you?
Well, when we came to New Zealand, it was the same. It was like that. Like I had to translate everything in my mind and then going to and translating to English and keep saying that. But now it's all right. Like I can definitely get that in English. But yeah, yeah, most of the time when my mind is not even working, I'm tired, then
Yeah.
I have to translate in my mind. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's the truth, right? Whenever we're tired in anything in our life, we always go back to our things that we
Yeah.
know really easily.
Now after 4 years, it's fine. Like I can even get it in English first, but then back like in 4 years ago, it was really hard for me to get into that. Yeah.
And what about your work with the Labour Party? Because that's very
Mm.
interesting. Tell us about how you got involved with that. And I asked that not about politics or about that there, but you're a new migrant. You're here. You've only been here for 5 years, and yet you get involved in that thing. What was the driver for that for you?
Well, yeah. Actually, I went to one of their meetings, community meetings. When I went, the lady was really nice from Labour Party. Her name is Helen's wife, and she was really friendly. And then she asked me, "Are you interested in to be involved and work with me in terms of elections, in terms of the like going and giving more information for people in terms of Labour Party?" And I was like, "Well, yes." I can get experience at the same time. It's really good for my background. And when I went home, I discussed with my father. I don't know anything about politics, but then I talked with my father, and my father's like, "Yeah, I agree. Why not? Just go and get experience because the contract is from now to November, which is all right. Like I can do that, and it's usually on the weekends. Like I don't have any free days, any break, because even on Sundays I'm working with them, which is really nice, and there are many nice people as well. Day by day, I'm learning from them.
Amazing. So what I'm hearing very constant throughout your whole story is people are important to you.
Well,
Is
yeah, yeah, because in many places that I went, like people usually ask me, people usually give me the opportunities. And I feel like this is the biggest chance. Why not? Like we can go for it and we can try. Why not? Like,
Mhm.
yeah, I just try my best. And one of the things that I have is I think this is the worst habit. I feel like I'm not doing enough. Like if I study hard, if I get A, like example, I get A in one of the subjects, then I'm like, why I shouldn't get A plus? Like this mindset is killing me because I feel like not enough. Like anything I'm doing, even the jobs, even in terms of the studies, even in terms of working with Khawat, always I think it's not enough. I should do more. I have this habit.
You do more, sometimes you'll burn out. So yeah, you have to draw the line somewhere, right?
Uh,
One day,
well,
one day,
yeah,
one day, one day. Don't worry,
maybe.
we got you. We got you. Your people have got you. Your people have got you, which is great.
Thank you.
Fatima, we've been talking for almost 50 minutes, which is great. The time has just flown. I would love, you've shared so much, and one of the things I would love to ask every single one of our guests on our podcast is, what is one piece of knowledge that you would like to put into our basket of knowledge from your life? It could be in any aspect of your life that you think our listeners would take away.
Mm, well, um, I would say just keep going. Don't listen to anyone, because as a woman in our life, there are many people who have doubt on ourselves, and they always say you can't do that. Like it's not really good to do that in terms of the jobs, in terms of studies or anything. And I'm really against that. Why not? We should try hard. We should do that and just keep going. Because, like when I share my goals, my aims, even 4 years ago to my friends, maybe they were laughing on me. Maybe they would say something to change my mind. But then I had those people around me to support me, to inspire me. So I feel like, yeah, it depends a lot, but it's your mindset at the end of the day. Just keep going and do the best.
Just keep going, and as you said, be unstoppable.
Yeah, yeah. We live this life only once. Why we shouldn't make it the best?
Hmm. I
Yeah.
love that. We live this life only once. Why not make it the best? I love it. I love it. Fatima, is there anything else that you'd like to say before we close off the podcast? We could keep talking for a long, long time, but I value your time as well.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I was really excited for this podcast, and I feel like this is it's my first experience. And yeah, I feel like this is the best experience. And at the end of the day, after a long day of studying, yeah, I feel well, and I got the energy. Energy, always
Energy,
energy.
boom, energy, energy. It could be the coffee, but we'll go with energy. We'll
I
go with
always see
energy.
you around uni, and then I get the energy because I'm really grateful that Iman introduced introduce you to me, and then yeah, so I really like that. Lots of my connections are connecting to Iman, like what
Oh,
Iman did to me, and
she's the connector.
yeah,
She's the connector, right?
Iman is
She's
the
the
key.
connector.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
she's the key. She's the key. Amazing, Fatima. Thank you so much for spending your time today. There's so much that I've learned from you today. Especially what I really enjoyed about this little short talk today is that you've come from a place where there was so much challenges in your life, but you've come here and you go, right, hey, I've got an opportunity, let me take it on. And I love your mantra about being unstoppable, which is really, really beautiful. So thank you so much for sharing that with myself and our listeners as well. If
Oh,
if
thank you so
anybody
much.
wants to connect with you and contact you and do stuff with you, what's the best way for them to do that?
LinkedIn,
LinkedIn.
probably LinkedIn. There are many people. Like I always check at night, and there are like 5 to 10 people just want to connect me, and I get the notification. It was really nice. Yeah, yeah,
Too popular. Get in there. Get in there before she starts to
probably.
to to get too popular. Amazing, Fatima. Thank you so much.
Yeah, this is the time.
This is the time.
Thank
Exactly. This is
you.
the vibe. To everyone listening out there, thank you
Thanks
so
for
much for
having
joining
me.
us. No, no, thank you. For everyone listening out there, thank you for joining us on the podcast today. Hopefully you've learned something about Fatima, but also about the challenges and also about the joys, but also the amazing energy that she has. She has. And if you haven't learned anything, go back and listen again because you've probably fallen asleep. Wake up and get the energy. Till next time, don't forget to find a reason to smile. Don't forget to put something into your past knowledge. And as Fatima said, don't forget that you only live life once, so make it the best life possible. Till next time, kakite everybody. Bye. Thank you for listening to Baskets of Knowledge. Yeah, we hope that you found something useful to put into your basket of knowledge. And as we said before, remember to put something little into your baskets of knowledge every week. And as always, feel free to like, comment, and share this podcast. Thanks, everybody. Bye.